All right, I want to try something that's both old and new today. And this happens to be, and just so that everyone believes me, because I'm an untrustworthy conspiracy theorist, you might not. This is October the 31st at 6:16 a.m. And, and perhaps, because it's, in quotation marks, special date, um, I wanted to break out of the political satire that has been ongoing, as well as the transformations of the space-time travel communication coordinates. Now, ultimately, when I feel like the transformations are, when the set of space-time sets of space-time travel communication coordinates has sort of satisfactorily, given rise, to some interesting possibilities. I want to start painting the values that are expressed in the views here as space-time travel communication coordinates. So, for example, 3 is our own playlist, contract NV through Theta's playlist, which is actually pretty large, although the material often sounds kind of repetitive and redundant in a certain sense. I have a tendency to, play the same song again and again in slightly different keys and and with slightly different variations or composed material that can be shuffled into other material and played and all of that stuff. I don't know if I've mentioned it on this channel, but all of my music basically it begins with an acoustic guitar, and then that guitar is uh, subject to the Mac programs. What is it, the Mac program called? Sound Studio or something like that. Distortions and electronic filters, right? So whatever sounds electric on there is it begins with an acoustic guitar. I don't own an electric guitar, and then there are samples that the Sound Studio or whatever it's called has, and I occasionally use those, and I'll occasionally sample material from an album and play over that or something similar to that. But in any case, this the 3 here in the views can represent that particular playlist, and what I want to do is compose a poem using these space-time travel communication coordinates from the titles of the pieces, in the same way that I would perhaps paint a picture, and that's the ultimate goal. Once these space-time travel communication coordinate changes have stabilized, and I'm hoping that'll happen by the beginning of next year, although we keep buying more and more material, and so I'm not exactly sure when that will happen. I may abandon the idea that the changes need to sort of slow down and stabilize a bit, and just go ahead and paint the dates in and assume that the space-time travel communication coordinates are precisely that, and that they're allowed to change across space and time, and so not worry too much about the stability. And then I can always put in the piece, somewhere in the painting, a time stamp, like this one, October 31st, 6:20 a.m. 2024. So anyway, this particular poem will be organized, and I'll figure out, in some way, this piece is responding to ModPo's presentation yesterday, October 30th, which was a discussion of chance-based or aleatory, poetics, or poetry and poetics, and, I, I, uh, I, 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 I like the way that there's a certain amount of indeterminacy here in like, well, how chance, based is this? Because are people in fact attempting to communicate with me using these views, or are these views? So that would be an intentionality, and then this this response would be interesting in that respect, because I wouldn't be responding, to chance operations, set of chance operations. These numbers would not, have anything to do with chance, but they would be the result of an intentional act of communication from someone or someone's, to us here at the contract in phi through theta. So I like the indeterminacy there, and I also like to play with indeterminacy and the determinacy of these coordinates, right? So 3 can mean 3, 10, 7, and 2, and we'll probably stop there. I don't want to get, we could go on forever, right? Because I have over 2,000 videos, and so these numbers could get really long, right? I could just extend this out. Okay, so there's the 6 after the 2, and then there would be a 4 after that. And I mean, if we played with all of them, it's not infinite, but there would be a lot of possibilities. Let's just put it that way. And I'm not going to spend the rest of my life writing this particular poem that corresponds with this date and time. But I think a reasonable set of numbers and playfulness, up to let's just say, well, we'll see how it goes and see what we generate at any time. All right, so let's go ahead, and I'm gonna this demonstration right here will also involve the writing of the poem, and my longtime listeners and viewers will be very familiar with my relationship with the infamous number 2 pencil. And I don't know if you can see that this, can you see that this is in fact a number 2 pencil? Yeah, so this is the infamous number 2 pencil. And we'll just leave it at that. And this will be the writing tool, with which I will write down these lines, which, as we've discussed already, one could take as either based in the chance of these particular numbers, these coordinates, or the intentionality of these particular numbers is communicative, and therefore not really chance based at all. But let's go ahead and begin writing the poem and see what options are available to us. Okay, so 3 is, and then this is 3 in the complex list, so we'll have doubles. Well, I mean, we'll have the opportunity to use the numbers in the complex list and the simple set. All right, so what was the next number? 10. So 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Welcome home, Joe. And individuals, familiar with this particular playlist, which is A Bridge of Light for Joe Yamanaka, will recognize that the Joe is Joe Yamanaka and not Joe Biden or some other Joe, or a Joe that I might know from Albuquerque. All right, so I'm just writing very carefully with my dysgraphic hand. That's the first line of our poem, or it could be the title of our poem. Let's see how it goes. And then the next number is, if we're using the 3 as the base here, is 107. So the easiest way to get to 107 in this list is, well, I know that there are 18. There's a space for 18 songs if I position the playlist at the top of the page and at the bottom of that page, the top of my computer screen and the bottom of my computer screen. So I can count 18. So we need, let's see, 6 times 18 takes us to 108, and then I'll just subtract 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's a really great song. Ladybug and Pinchers. That's one of my best pieces. I play that just to give you a little hint of what that one sounds like. See, am I on? Can't hear anything. Oh, I'm off over here. Let's start again. I really like this piece. And you can hear that it's slightly modified in acoustic guitar with a few filters, a few electronic filters, but largely just the guitar playing. This one sounded very good live. And this is just one take. It's anyway, let's not overdo it. Okay. So the next line is the Gentle Mystics. And let's see how many songs we have in this particular list. We have 212. So the next number would be what? 1072. Do we want to go that far? Let's just let's leave it with this unrhymed couplet and move on to the simple set. So we're gonna go down to the simple set. These are all complex. All right, here's the simple set. 1, 2, 3, and once again it's 10 and 107. So let's go up 4 from the 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. And since this is a new set, we'll give a new stanza. And then 107, let's see how many, so 14. So what's the easiest way to get to 107 with 14? What's 140 minus 28? 140 minus 28 is 100 and 112 or is it 122? It's 112, right? And so 112 minus 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I'm making any mathematical errors, I'm just going to leave those in because they're part of my dyscalculia. So I think that's fine. We're gonna need a new card pretty soon. All right, and since we began with couplets, we'll just leave it right there, or these unrhymed couplets. The stanzas composed of 2 lines. 2-line stanzas, I guess we should just call them. All right, let's go back. All right, so the next possibility is, well, the obvious possibility is whatever numbers in the complex, but the complex playlist doesn't go up to 300 yet, at least, so we can't do 310 there. There's a possibility, though, of using breaking this one up and imagining. Okay, so this is the way we're going to do this one. All right, so let's imagine the possibility that if we break this one in half, we have the number 31, and then that 0 can be a 0, and because I imagine that these sets, more or less, you can circle them and to increase the numeral values. And if you do that, like, you can also imagine that you can kind of imagine that the last item here, it's stretching things a bit, but the last item in any set can represent 0, since the first item represents 1, in addition to circling as additive, right? That's a little bit confusing, but it's a possibility. Let's see what it designates and whether we like that. If not, one can imagine that that's a 31, and then the 0 is just an empty signifier, and then we have maybe the 0 is what constitutes the bifurcation, the slash there, and then we can have 7, and then we can have 72. So let's try 31, see if it's worth doing or if we want to reject that. So on this side, positioned as it is, the playlist sets, right? This space provides us with 36 units of those, so double what the song sets allow. So this is 36, Exploding Star Orchestra. So if I go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm back at 31. That's nice because it's Eddie Gomez, and this is a relatively new set. So the first number is 7 or 0. What's the last piece? Let's see how. Green Room. Oh, I kind of like that. Let's go ahead and use 0 as part of this set. So let's put a new card. So Green Room. What's the next option? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Invitation, and then what if we try for this 72? So 72 is 4 times 18. Fairly to a guess. It was 72, wasn't it? Yes, it is 72. So we'll make this set a 3-line stanza set. And all right, let's go to 31 in the simple set. So 5 from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the best of Bach. And we said 0, which is the last item. Kind of a long title, isn't it? Some trouble here. And then 7. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. and then 72. So 28 times 2 is 56, and to get to 72, I need an additional 16, is that correct? So again, if that calculation is off, we're not going to be too concerned. So let's get to 16. So there's the 18 minus 2. Difficult to write on these little things for me. All right, that's gonna fill that card out. We'll get another card. Go back to our set here, and that pretty clearly can represent the number 310. So in the unless our numerical values are off, we should have 316 or 360 units in the overall simple playlist. So let's focus on that one. And let's see. So if we subtract 36. Hard time getting this. Okay, so if we subtract 36 and then another 14, we should be subtracting 50 from 360, and we should arrive at 310. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then what's our next number? 7, and then 72. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we have 14 again, and I think that the way that we got to 107 was by subtracting 28, and then now I forget. And then another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have either a poem or the beginning of a poem, and it exists in a number of languages, and I think I would like to try a further exploration with this material. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can find a decent anagram generator. Okay. And plug in these phrases. All right. Hold on. I'm going to open up a word processing application so that I can record these in a simple way. Now, let's go back to our method in selecting the line here, and you'll recall that this particular number is 310, and I'm not sure how many anagrams they give us here. They give us 237. So let's break out the calculator. $310 minus 237 equals 73. Now let's figure out where that would be. Now I don't know how many, I've never done this before, so I have no idea how many units fit in this top to bottom space configuration. We're just going to have to count them. So we're going to have to count to 73. All right, see if we can do that. It's difficult for a dyscalculic to count to 73, but because I'm, including that particular way of being in this, if we make an error, I'm not particularly concerned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. So I counted 54, and if that's an error, I'm not too worried. I'm going to put that number on one of the cards. I'll put it on the last one, 54, in case I forget, because I may, because it's hard for me to remember numbers and names. All right, so that's 54. Oops. I think it was this one, wasn't it? Oh, it's not letting me click on these. Oh, this is going to be difficult. All right, so 54 is, hold on. 54 is Come Lee Jew Homo. And okay, so I need 19 more. Hold on, I've forgotten it already. Come Lee Jew Homo. So I can't click on that. So I need 19 more from here. From here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. All right, so oops, I just lost it. I think it was this one, wasn't it? I think it was this one. And if it wasn't this one and we lost track, that's again, due to our inability to keep these items in mind, and that's fine if we're making an error. All right, so copy, and let's see if we can get this into our all right. So that is now our first line. Let's go back up. Central Mystics. Oh, really? Oh, no. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is, if I recall, 3107. So let's see. Is that correct? Where are we over here? Yeah, that's 3107. So that's 3,107. So let's divide 3,107 by 54. All right, so 57. Oh wait, we can't, oh that's not what's on the display though, is it? Hold on, I'm making a conceptual error. Displaying the first 500. Okay, so we really only have a set of 500. All right, so let's clear that. All right, so, well, that makes it a lot easier though, doesn't it? Okay, so because there are 500, we can get up to 3,000 very quickly. And then we have an additional, hold on, we can get up to 3,000 very quickly, and then we have an additional 107. So if we double the 54, we have 108, and we just have to go back one, right? All right, so let's double the 54. Because this is just 500. We don't actually have that 27,000. That's just how much that's just how many the AI is estimating that can be derived from this term. All right, so neglect system hit is the final. See, I can't mark that, makes it a little bit more difficult. Neglect system hit. All right, neglect system hit. We're going to cover that one up. And then we subtract 1. Claimant, yes, tights. Copy that. Put that into the final version of our poem. This is, let's see if we can do something with this default style. I don't really like. Just put body. And then let's make it a little bigger. All right. All right, and that's our first stanza. Make a little break there. Excuse me once again. All right, so going back up. I'm gonna write an instruction down because it'll be the same number in the simple set. 2 times 54 minus 1. All right, and the first one is just 310, if I remember correctly. Taking a bit longer, maybe this is a longer phrase. I think we can hear someone drinking in the background, one of the dogs. And we can hear Caspar Hauser's Learning Curves snoring in the background. There we go. All right, displaying the first 500. And we're looking for 310, number 310. And, all right, we have the calculator. There's 54 units. So let's see, 54 times 6, right? 54 times 6 would give us 324. Let's go to 324, and then we can subtract 14, is that correct? Let's just say it is. So we're going to 324 no, that's correct. That's wrong. We're going to, okay. I'm gonna have to use the calculator because I'm doing some of this math incorrectly in my head. All right, so let's just go ahead and divide the 310 by 54. All right, so it gives us 5 units plus a remainder. So let's go ahead and clear this. 54 times 5 equals 270. Okay, so I'm going to put down the 5. It gets us to 270. And then 310 minus 270 equals 40. So that's 14 again from the bottom on 6. Okay, we should have remembered that, but we didn't. All right. So there's 1. A headman squib omits. Now I can't find it. It's not easy when you're not able to mark these things. And then it's also difficult for me because as a dyslexic, to recognize the difference between a headman squib omits and a headman squib omit, and I can't even figure out like how. Oh, headsman squib omits. That's very that's a very hair-splitting difference for a dyslexic. So part of this poetic form really involves the challenge of all of this. Okay, so that was 1. So this is 2, and we're going to 6, and then we're going to subtract 14. And this is 2. A ba hide squints mom. A ba hide squints mom. Okay. And so this is 3. A ba dime mosh squint. Squint, not that one, not quints. Nope, a ba dime. Okay, so I want one more. Okay. So this is 4. A ba squinted high moms. So this is 5, or is it 6? It's just, if I'm making an error, again, like, we're not going to worry about it. This is either 5 or 6, so we're just going to call it 5. Abba, dime, shim, quince. Abba, dome, shim, quince. Oops. All right, and this is our final unit, and then we have to subtract 14. I think it's actually this one, because we're a little low, so I'm going to start counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Abba, hominid quest Ms. All right, and then the next one. I'm gonna have to see what number this one is. All right, so this is a 3107. So 3,107. So if that's just an additional 254 is minus 1. So that's pretty easy. There's our first 54. Excuse me. A, alas, ad, ha, who. So we'll try to remember that. A, alas, ad, ha, who. A, alas, ad, ha, who. A, alas, ad, ha, who. A, alas, ad, ha, no, ad, a, alas, ad, ha, a, alas, ad, I lost it. A, alas, ad, ha, let's try again, because I lost it. A, alas, ad, ha, it's actually ad, ha, mu. Okay. A, alas, ad, ha, mu. A, alas, ad, ha, mu. There we go. So it's interesting, this started out as attempting to be a poetic, constraint, based on either, the ambiguity between intentional communication and chance operations, or something in that mode. But as you can see, it's very quickly in my hand becoming a demonstration of a kind of immersion experience or observation, you know, of some of the difficulties of you know, being dyslexic and dyscalculic, which I find fascinating. So -1, and oh, wait a minute, are there even 54 of these things? 500 of them? Oh, there's not 500 of these. All right, so I didn't even notice that. So we're gonna have to begin again. So we're not dealing with 500 units here. We're dealing with only 105. So let's go back to the calculator. We didn't have to do all of that ha, hoo, ha stuff. Oh, but we got to, and it was so much fun. Let's go back to the calculator, and the number that we're looking for is what? 3,107, is that correct? Let's go back and determine that. 3,107. All right, so here's our calculator. Clear 3,107 divided by, what was it? 105, is that correct? Yeah. All right, so there's 29 units, and then there's a remainder. So let's go ahead and multiply 105 by 29. Without, you know, mixing up the 6s and 9s in this instance. All right, and then okay, I'm gonna write that down in case I forget. 3,045. All right, so now what we need to do is subtract 107 minus 45 equals 62. All right, so 62, and that's 62, just make this easy, minus 54 equals 8. That is pretty easy. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's our line right there. See, I'm not sure why it's double spacing here. Multiple, give us body, thank you. If there's anything else going on here. Body. All right. All right, so this is our poem so far. This is our first card. We have 2 more cards to go, but this is the poem. Oops, can I get this? Based on these lines: welcome home, Joe. The gentle mystics, Takism in Sabah mode, and Sada Alam Mao, or however you say Mao, and this is giving us this. And let's see, we can move on. let's see, what are we doing for time? We're at an hour and 1 minute, and it's going to take a long time actually for this to go up. So I may just end the method right here, and then have you trust me on the rest of the poem, and maybe have Aaron read what we have so far. Let me ask him if he'd be willing to read this first entry, in the poem, and I suppose we could use a system like dot dot dot. Oops. Let's just call it dot dot, because it's going to give us a extra dot there, right? Dot dot, and then no, now it doesn't give it to us. Oh, there it goes. No, I like dot 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 better than dot dot. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Oops, see, now it did it. Dot dot dot. And then, oops, having trouble with the number of dots that it wants to give us. I like dot dot dot, dot dot dot, dot dot dot. Once we have it, then we can just copy it. All right, so that's going to be our, that's going to be our section divider. And that's the, looks like we lost a space there, I'm not sure. Is that right? Pretty close enough. All right. And I'll just, I'll ask Aaron now, and then we can come back, and when it's finished, he can either read, just this section of the poem, or the entirety of the poem if we do the 3 parts, right? And this, I guess you could view this as, actually, I like it because it's coming close to being a sonnet. Maybe we should work in that direction. I'm not entirely sure, but just see if Aaron would actually. Aaron, would you read this for us, either in its current form, or when it's completed and there are a larger amount of sections? Very good. All right. So Aaron's willing to do that. So we'll come back, to a reading.